morning, Friday morning. This is normally we do open forum Q&A. And what I want to do is start the class off this morning just by getting some feedback on what we've done over the last couple of weeks. Any questions or anything you want to offer up regarding this bookmaking process? And then then after we cover that, then I'll get to the conclusion of it and do some hands-on. I've been playing with a couple of books that just kind of the practice with. Then we're kind of hands-on there. So any questions about anything we've covered so far? Is this sinking in? Is it helping anybody in terms of understanding how to put together a book at all? Barrington, you got hand up there? Or is that a clap you got, Barrington? You have to unmute yourself as well. Okay. Okay, Barrington's having some technical issues.
Hey, it's early. It is early, so I need to get my stuff together. Okay. But anyway, what I'm saying is that, well, where we are now and where we're coming from, it's a big progress. And now that we are in, what would you say, we are in the process of producing a book. It's to me, to me personally, it seems like the thought of the book take first stage in my mind.
Yeah.
You know, so from what you're saying, where we're coming from and where we're going, it's a good idea. The idea is good, just to focus. You tend to focus more.
Yeah, just and even from a posterity standpoint, just to have something to look back on and say I did this or I was able to do this. At some point, I don't wish this on anyone, but at some point you won't have the will or maybe the facility or the technical skills to go back and do something. So it's a good idea to do some legacy type of stuff now. So as you're going on down this road that we all have to journey, that you'll have something to pass back to or pass down to future generations who might say, well, this is what Pops was all about. And that's kind of how I look at it. My kids always call me Pops. So they can actually look back and see some work there.
That is true.
Yeah. Anybody else that want to offer up something? I'm going to do a share screen at this point and maybe we can get the juices flowing. But what I want to do is just to conclude. This is just the conclusion page that I'm going to walk through because we've covered all of these bullet points in this conclusion page. So again, what it nets out to, no right or wrong way to do it. You just have to kind of jump in there and start working on it. But at least you've got software nowadays that will allow you to do so. It used to be a time when book publishing was a very difficult thing to do. You had to go out and find a publisher, you had to go out and find a printer, you had to do all that stuff independently and have somebody else do it for you. Nowadays, it's much easier because you can all do what I call self-publishing. So again, no right or wrong way to do it. But if you want to create a book that looks right, looks good, feels good, looks like a professionally done book, you want to have some consistency across your page designs. And page layout and design is a lot like designing, composing a photograph. It's the same basic principles kind of apply because you start with a blank slate and you have to arrange your elements on that page there. Annie, you got a question? Was Annie?
Yes, I do. My question is, I would like to do a book of my family, but my problem is a lot of the images that I will need to use, they are old images. So I would have to scan them in. So my question is, will I be able to, and they were taken with, say, cheap cameras, because some of them are fading, same. But will I be able to, say, scan them in and get enough resolution to make a book?
Yeah, your scanners will allow you to go up to, I've scanned images in up to 300 pixels per inch. But if you can get an image in at 150 to 200 pixels per inch, you should be fine for a book. Because you probably, if you're going to do them from a family standpoint, from old snapshots, things of that nature, you won't be doing full page spreads where you need a lot of resolution. But most of your scanners, I've got a desktop Epson that allow me to go up to about 600 pixels per inch. I've got a professional scanner that kind of does the same thing, but most of them will allow you to set the PPI or the DPI when doing the scan. And what it does is just scans it a little slower. And some of them also have software in them. So if you got an old faded image, you said correct the color, it'll correct it for you, bring it back to the color that it was in the original color that it was. So yeah, you can do that. Yeah, but I would, if just scan them in, make sure you label them correctly. So when you start to look for them or put them in your collection, then you know what they are. But scan them in as JPEG files as well.
Right. Okay, Michael. And also, if I scan them in, will I be able to, I forgot what I was going to ask.
Okay.
Oh, I know. Use my scanner.
Okay.
I have a scanner on my printer.
Yeah.
Well, do I need to get another printer specifically for photos, or could I use that scanner?
That scanner should be fine. Yeah, and like I said, I got a desktop apps and just kind of like an all-in-one, and I've got
that's what I have. Okay.
Yeah, and I've got a professional scanner that I don't use because the desktop does what I need to do for it. But no, I think that scanner that you got on your desktop should be fine. You lay them on that flatbed, set to image scan, and set your resolution, and then save that file to wherever you need to save it to.
Oh, okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, Felix, you're up, and then Billy.
Yeah. My question is, I have some photos. Like I told you, I'm going to do this book on the Virgin Island beaches and stuff.
Yeah.
And I have some photos, some old photos. Some of them are mine, and there's a few of them that belongs to one of my relatives or whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
Is it appropriate to use some of their photos in the book?
Yeah. Can I get you guys to hold for a second? It looks like I've got a technical issue outside. I'm going to leave the slide up. No, I'm going to stop the share, actually. I got somebody banging on the door, not sure why.
Stop the banger.
That's UPS.
Police. I don't know who it might be, but let me get out here and see.
Tax collector.
Okay. All right. So continue to chat yourself if you want to try to find my.
If you don't come back, we know it's the police.
All right. Well, hold tight.
That's so right.
Take care of business, Bob. Take care of business.
Oh, that sounds about right.
Stuff
but, I'm kind of excited about this book because I remember my first one that I done. It was like you were drowning and you was on the water and you come up on top. You take a deep breath out of you, so I'm kind of looking forward to it. Since the other thing about it is, since you already, you're in the process and you have the pictures and you select them. One of my concern was just, what do I want to put underneath the pictures? The only problem is if you start one, you got 49 more to do. What? But Bob already come back already? I thought you were gone.
He's back, but he got no sound.
Oh, I see. Okay, so that's weird.
Okay, I'm sorry, guys.
Okay, your audio is back.
Okay, I'm sorry. Beg your pardon for that. All right, I see it now, and I apologize. This is Billy. You got your hand up. Barrington was talking, so I'm not sure where we are at this point.
That's all right. Go ahead, Billy.
Yeah, Bob, when you scan them, do you save them to a memory card or jump drive or something?
Wherever you're gonna, when you scan them, you want to make sure that you save them to a particular folder that you plan on using. I would scan them to my desktop, put them on a folder there on the desktop. Okay, I put them on a folder on my desktop someplace, and then as I'm needing them, I could then you want to add them to your Lightroom library and then put into a collection from there. So just scan the images and JPEG file, locate on your desktop, wherever you want to keep them, store them. You could put them on a hard drive, a flash drive, or whatever. Flash drive, you got to plug the thing in so you can get it back into Lightroom. load it into Lightroom and create your collection and go from there. Yeah.
Okay, you didn't finish answering my question.
Thanks.
Okay. All right, Felix, go back. I'm sorry, Billy. Let's close it out.
It was, whereas that I told you I'm going to do this book on the beaches and in the Caribbean.
Right.
And
Okay.
I have some old photos. Some of them are mine, and there's a few from my family members.
Okay.
Is it appropriate to add those photos that my family members gave me that's old photos?
Yeah, it's your book. You can add anything you want to it. You can do that.
Okay.
I mean, why wouldn't you? I mean, as long as you own the content, you can put anything you want in your book that you want. If you get any outside content, it's a good idea to reference in the book. Otherwise, you might, well, they say education, you can get away with it. But you might reference where you got the content from if it's not owned by you per se. For example, this presentation at the bottom of the screen, you see there's a reference to where we got the information, how to design a good photo book and the website. So if you can always reference your sources, and this is just for future use, if somebody wants to come along and double check you or check out or vet you, so to speak, you got sources that you can go to. Yeah.
But if somebody checking your source.
Yeah, but if family stuff that you got from family, and there's an acknowledgements page, we call it a colophon. When you're doing a book, you can reference that kind of material. You can say such and such information was provided by such and such person.
Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of an acknowledgements page there. You could do that as well. So
that's why you're Bob GlickSmith.
Well, thank you very much, Phil. And that's why you're Felix Viola. I hope I pronounced that. Okay. So, but again, if you want to create a book, you want to be consistent across it, across your pages and your design. Now, the cover page, as I mentioned earlier on, this is just a quick recap. It covers everything we covered over the last couple of weeks. Is a cover page and the inside page there should be a strong connection between the two. It's imperative that you do that. You don't want to put on the cover something that's not going to be part of what's inside the book. You know the old adage about you can't judge a book, you can't judge the contents of a book by the cover or something like that. I forget how it goes. But in this case, you want to tie them together. So if you do a book of family heritage or history or genealogy, or just make sure that cover gives a strong indication of what's going to be inside. So, and again, if you're doing a photo book, this is critical. Your design should never take away from the photographer. That should never be the case. Now, there's nothing wrong with using a little bit of text here and there just to explain some things, or a caption here and there. If you want to explain some things, you can go ahead and do that. And the design should inspire your viewer to keep turning pages. You want to look through your book, and you want them to go all the way to the end. And by the time they get to the end, they want to look at some more. It's what you want to do from the design standpoint. So, and all the stuff we talked about kind of lends itself to that as well. So, the thing about if you don't feel confident about designing your book, use a software. Software is very good, but you still got to have some basic skills in terms of the layout. And this is what I kind of was leading off with this morning. If you think about a book page, when you lay it open, you got a blank slate, a white page in front of you. How are you going to place your element on that page? And it's the same thing that we do when we do a photograph. Instead of having a blank slate when we do a photograph, you pick up the camera, you look through the viewfinder, and there are things in there already. You have to just arrange your viewfinder where they match up or map up with your rules of designing composition. Designing a book is only the same thing, but you start with a blank slate. And you can put this over here, you put that over there, you can use some white space here, you can put a piece of text there. You get to paint your own book, so to speak. Whereas in a photograph, you use the same type of rules, but you don't have to paint it, you don't get to design it. You have to design what's in front of the camera to start with. So this thing about the software will do most of the work. Now, the software will do most of the heavy lifting for you, but you still have to go out and look at that page and decide how it's going to be fitted, how things will fit. So everything we've covered in this little guide, if you keep this as a guide, and I'll tweak it a little bit more, I'll send out a final copy of it. But if you use this as your guide, this is a good place to kind of start. So don't be afraid to go ahead and do a book. If you're not using the Lightroom module, you got Flickr. Flickr has a bookmaking connection. And ironically enough, that bookmaking connection is with Blurb. I think Blurb is kind of taking over the bookmaking, not say industry. There's a lot of others out there, but they're in there where they do a lot of collaborations and partnerships. So Blurb is also part of Flickr. And SmugMug has a template. Memento.com has free software that you can use if you want to use those. But the problem there is you have to get out and play with the software, and you have to have some basis for using the basis for page layout and design before you can use the software. Because a lot of it will be unfamiliar to you if you've never designed a book or if you never did page layout. But there's a lot of other, a lot more software out there. The fact that most of us are using Lightroom, Adobe, or Adobe Lightroom, you already have that in there. But Blur seems to be the one. If you're going to be using Flickr, they got an application called Bookwrite it's a Blurb application that Flickr uses, but you just download that, and it's the same step as what we're looking at. We'll look at the Lightroom book module. If you need help in your project started, choose autofill, auto layout, or autofill, and it'll drop everything in there for you. But the main thing here is to get your images in a collection, get them into your catalog, get them into Lightroom, get into someplace you're going to be pulling them from, and start the project. There's a page layout view. That was something that I was working on. I haven't finished it yet. I'll put that, let's see, I think it's on the next slide. Yeah, it was a page layout view that's inside the book. I was going to give you a few examples of some different layouts, but these are inside of Blurb or inside the Lightroom module as well. This is a 4-page layout. You could have a 1-page layout. This is a 3-page layout. You can have multiple choices here, so to speak. So, that was that's something that I'll add to this package before I finalize it and send it out to you. All right, so that said, that's our conclusion on this. I did ask Sonia Lewis, and I think I copied Cynthia and Gabe on the last couple of sessions to see if we can get those recordings expedited. And if we can, I'll just go ahead and put those in the team room if you want to go back and review some of that. But the major point or major components of what you need will be found in this document that we created. So, okay, so with that said, I'm going to stop the share and see if I can entertain questions at this point in time. Any other questions before we actually get into our hands-on? Because I want to go into the book module itself and just kind of play around with it a little bit and see what we can do with it. All right, questions at this point? Others? Okay. All right. Let's do another share screen here. 20. I don't need this anymore. Pull that down. Don't need that anymore. I want to get into my Lightroom module here. Over the last couple of weeks or so, in and before and around the break, I just kind of going into the software and kind of playing with stuff. This is one that I started. Didn't finish it, but this is one I started. This is hardest off the annual festivals 2018. I pulled the images in from, but just to kind of give you an idea of what you're doing or how you do this. These are all in a collection. If you look over to the left-hand side of the screen, can you see screen? I'm sorry, I didn't ask you a question. Okay, if you look over to the left-hand side of the screen, these are all in a collection. And I'm in the book module. So let me get out of the book module and go to library or develop. Let's go to library. Okay. But these are all in a collection. And this is what the collections bucket is all about. I started some images here they are. These are all starter. And it says starter page. And once I put them in the collection, again, gather up any photographs, put them in a collection. Then I went over to the book module. And when I got to the book module, let's just kind of show some specifics of the module itself. Got over to the book module. went through all of the standard page layout stuff, large landscape, hardcover image wrap, Proline Pro Photo. This is an expensive paper here to use, but that's the paper I like to use there. This book, it has about, how many images in it? It doesn't tell me how many images, but it's up to $106 now just for this book here. So it's an expensive proposition if you don't do multiple photos on a page. But I started playing with it, and it's a good piece of software, but you really have to take some time in terms of learning how to use it. What you're looking at is a full layout, but that'll be these for this icon on the far left. You can go into what's called a 2-page layout. Let's just pick an image here and go into a 2-page layout where you can actually add text. There's a text box, and this is actually picked up right off of their website and tells a little bit about what's going on. And I just dropped another picture in here just to kind of have something to kind of fill that page. Now I've got the guides turned off. So let me turn the guides on so you can see the page. Let's see the guides that you've got. These are the guides that are turned on. These little light, faint lines around the edges here. These are called, make sure that your text is inside of these lines because they will cut the book off. The gray area around the edges, that's where the book will be cut or the pages will be cut. So you know, make sure that, and these are the text safe areas is what they refer to. So make sure you don't get anything outside of those particular areas from a text standpoint. When you're laying out your book. And then you can kind of move stuff around on the page if you want. And usually you get these little grid guides that'll pop up. And I just kind of like this photograph to be right about here. Now this to me is what I was saying that was a little bit strange for me because I would like to be able to be a little bit more precise with the positioning. And sometimes it gets a little quirky, but you got to play with it. You got to play with it. One of the things I'd suggest doing is when you get ready to pull your images into a book is not to put any copyright information or taglines because you see a situation over here in the corner. I've got half of it cut off. Now I can change that by zooming in or out, but that might also change your, well, that works there. I could actually tweak that out. That'll actually work there. And then you can move that photograph around a little bit there. But if I want to show more of that, that's the image I wanted to use as opposed to that image there. So I would suggest leaving that off because you're going to compromise your image. If you put those taglines on, it doesn't allow you to recompose the image inside the photograph there. That's the 2-page spread. You can go into a 1-page spread if you want to get into the close-up detail of it. But suggestion is to do a 2-page spread and then scroll through the book page by page to see how the book is laying out or how it's working out for you. 1-page spread on the left, and this is a template. It's a 1-page template on the left for photos, 3 pages, 3 template photo on the right. The way you see that is you would go over to the actual page itself. You can click on the page and it'll light up in yellow. And click on this little arrow just below it, it'll show you that it's 3 photos. And you can actually scroll down and see what the 3 photos are. See one down here on the left, on the right-hand side, it's got the kind of gold border around it. That's the particular setup that one is using. And you can go to 4 photos. You can do all different types. You just have to pick the one that works best for your particular layout. If you go to the next page, same thing. You click on that little drop down, it'll show you some one photo type of a template. They've got a situation here where you can actually select favorites. I don't actually do favorites. I just do them as I need them. So I don't do any favorites, so to speak. But I do like the one with the white border. If you click this, there's a full page spread, and then there is a one with a white border around it as well. And I just added a blank page. Let's go back and see where that page happened to be. I just added a blank page in plain there. So that's what that one was all about. If you get to the back of your book, and this one was about completed, so I'm just going to go ahead and see if I can remove this page. Remove. remove, select it. So remove page. Okay, there it is there. Just right clicking on it. There we go. So we're back where we were. Just right clicking on it gives you a lot of flyouts that you can kind of adjust to as well. All right. So there's, and again, I would suggest also when you're doing your book to look at it, once you finish and got it all laid out the way you think you want to be, look at it in 2-page format. Let's go back to the beginning of it. Look at it in 2-page format. And that way you can see right or left pages. If these grid lines bother you, turn them off. There's a guide over where it says sales and guides. You can turn the grid lines off. Now the text strings don't go away unless you click on it, but you can turn those actually off if you would. And then just go through it 2 pages at a time. Of course, this is your front and back cover, front cover. And this becomes your inside cover. The next page becomes your acknowledgments or your foreword or whatever you want to say about the book. If you want to add captions, you can do that as you go through. And then go through the book 2 pages at a time, just like you're looking at it. It's a good idea to actually add page numbers. In this case, we got page numbers on the right-hand corner. So I'm gonna go up to where it says page. Where is it? Page number. I just saw it a minute ago. Page, cells. Oh, yeah, page numbers. So I'm going to change this page numbers from on the right-hand corner. I want one on either side. So if I go to page number, bottom corner, and what I want to do is left and right. I got this one set up for the right corner only, but left and right. And the reason you want to put page numbers in there, bottom corner, left and right. Bottom corner, yeah, left and right. So why didn't it refresh? It didn't refresh for me. Let's go back out of it and then come back in. So got that selected. And what should happen is I should have them on both sides. I don't know why it didn't do that. Let's go back, click that, click this on. Bottom corner, left and right, left only. Yeah, change there. So let's see. Bottom corner, left and right, left and right. I don't want left and right. I want it to be, let's do right only. Anyway, there's some tweaks in the software that you're gonna have to work out for. I like to put page numbers on either side, and maybe in the setup I need to do that, or maybe I need to go out and refresh it or something there. But it's a good idea to put page numbers on, so when you load it up, when you think you're finished, and you upload it to Blurb, when you start to review it, I sit down with a notepad next to me and I look at it page by page in case there's something that I need to come back to repair or to fix or what have you. And then I've got the page numbers there handy to take me through the process. So, but these all look like they've been set up pretty okay. Oh, I got it right only. Okay, let's do this. Left and right. Okay, now I've got it. Okay, I guess the software had to update. So I got a page number on either side now. So, and this lays out fairly nice and clean, nice even margins, nice meet up. There may be some situations where you want to change something. And again, like I said, don't put your taglines on them. If you're doing the book, the front of the book talks about who does the book and who the photography is by. If you want to adjust, this is at a 20% zoom. Plus, if we take it all the way down, it would look like that, but I don't need all of that in there. So I'm just going to zoom it out a little bit and recompose the image. So luckily enough, I could kind of cut some of that out there. Turn your guides back on, and that'll show you where your pages are and what have you. Okay, questions at this point? Do we have any?
Oh, you're going good. Keep on.
Quick question.
Go ahead.
What about, we went through this phase of putting borders on a lot of our pictures as of late. Will we want to remove those borders before we put them in the book, or is it okay to keep them?
I would take those borders off before you put them in the book, because in the book, you're going to have white space anyway. The borders that we're using for with the black and the white on there, if it's about the photography, you won't need those borders on there. If the borders are enhancing the image, I know some people use these accents or color, bevels, colored bevels, and what have you. If it's going to accent the image and it's part of the photograph, I would. But you don't need the white or the black borders on there unless they're actually emphasizing the image itself. For example, the lady with the over the microphone, if you want to use a gold rim or edge around there, that would be okay. But I would not use the black and the white, the gold rim or edge around it, because what it looks like is you got a framed image in a book. I wouldn't do it that way. But again, it's all personal preference. If you decide that it looks better for you that way, so be it. But I'm not seeing, now there may be times where you may want to, you got a historical image and it's got a frame around it with a mat and a border. You may want to include all of that when you do it. It's a scanned image in and it's got the frame and the mat around it already. You might want to include that. That may be appropriate. For the most part, you already got a white border, you got some margin around it to start with. So I would not use it that way. Okay. All right, here's a spot for photo text. I put this in here and I don't want it in here. So I'm going to see if I can remove, I don't remove the page, I want to remove the cell. And it's giving me the position to add that, but I don't want that in there. So this is got okay. I don't want to do anything to that, but I wouldn't want that in my book there at all. Let's do that. Let's see if we can clean it out. Yeah, we better clean it out. Okay. So yeah. So I had thought about adding text there. My forward up front basically covers the whole book. So if you want to put a forward up front and that we don't have to add captions or text, you can do that. If I want to get rid of the copyright information here, I'm going to destroy my image. If I try to recompose it, I could probably get away with something like that. But in this case, I actually wanted to show his feet. But I have to, that's why I wouldn't put a copyright on it or tagline on it to start with. And then just kind of work through your book. Here's a full page spread. Again, this copyright information is extraction or distraction from me. So this is what's called a full page bleed, if you would. Not full page spread, 2-page spread. It doesn't bleed off. If it's a bleed, it goes right up to the edge of the book itself. And you just kind of keep working through your book, seeing some of the different examples and layouts. Now, this is pretty well laid out in terms of borders and spaces, but this is what I played with, I think, right after the session started. But again, when you get your page, you want to make sure your pages interact. Now, the lady on the right-hand side is looking at the parade as it's coming in. This is some of the kickoff stuff here as well. And again, as you're doing your book, these little tabs that show up down on the bottom will show you how many times you've used your image in the book. And in this case, these have all been used just one time. And you saw this in the last week. I'll probably replace that with the one I put where the green grass is back there. The pavement wasn't all that exciting at all for me. Okay, and this is 2018. This is when Stacey ran for governor the first time. She's running again this time as well. All right, again, some of the neighborhood guys and what have you. If you notice, this photograph on the right-hand side is a little bit larger than the one on the left-hand side. If you want to make that larger, let's see if I can zoom it up. And you can, and this is a part where I have a bit of an issue with the software because it's all eyeball, and I wanted all that to line up with the edges on the bottom as well. So I have to actually increase the size of it to make that happen. There's something called padding as well. And you have to kind of balance that out. But it's still a little bit larger than the one on the right-hand side. Again, you can zoom that in a little bit tighter, zoom it out a little bit. The line up here, you can tighten the line up. If you're going to move your photograph around, you have to move it. You have to kind of eyeball it, and I don't like that. That's me. I'm sorry, I'm being a bit able there. So you may get used to using it this way. But page numbers are very helpful again. Let's just walk through this one. Everything looks okay, but I would look through it and scan it. Those are issues there. Page 25, for an example. And these will go right into your book up online, just like you've laid them out. So all of that should be corrected before you upload it. There's one here that's like a different size. Now those are the same size. 3-page, 3-photo layout, 1-page, 1-photo layout. If you want to reduce the cost on this, but this is a $106 book at this point, and that doesn't include shipping and tax. But if you want to reduce the cost of it, then you probably would want to consider doing multiple photos per page. This one here is this is probably could be a 1-page. I don't know why I did this, but anyway, there's another spread there where you go across the page, and this one is at 5%. Let's go at 1%. If you're gonna go across the page like so, you could probably do a full page spread there. Yeah, that was what I was trying to get to, something like that. So that actually works there. Another full page spread there. And those are things you have to make judgment calls about them as you go along. Felix, you got a question?
You're running so fast it went by me.
Okay.
I know. How do you remove a photo from the spot that you have it to put the next one in?
You can either drag the image up. Let's say I'll try one here just to show you how it works. Say this has already got an image here and I don't want that image. I'll just drag another image up. It'll replace it. Okay. Or you can right click it and say remove photo.
Okay, but when you remove that photo, where does it go? Back on the film strip?
It goes back into your bucket.
Okay.
It goes back. Yeah, your film strip. I'm sorry. Yeah, I should call it the film. Call it what it is. Yeah. But if you want to remove that photo, you just drag another one up, click it, and then you rearrange that one the way you want it.
Okay.
Or you
This is
right.
getting to be pretty cool.
Yeah. So or you can do a remove photo. Right click and remove it on a blank page there. So let's put that one back. So
And the same thing with a blank page. You got a blank page, you just move a photo up and put it on that page.
Right, exactly. You can also do this in full page spread. You can move, so I'm gonna grab this photo here and swap it with one on the right-hand side. Let's say we swap these two, just for the sake of demonstration. And you have to click it, and this button here will turn yellow, and then you'll see this little hand pop up. And I'm gonna move that. Well, let's see if I was gonna move it. Let's see. No, this whole page I gotta move now. Let's see. Let's do that. I should be able to just grab this and move it over here, and it will swap the two. So
good to go, because I can do that ahead of time.
Yeah, I can do your layout. Now, if you want to change the whole page, you would select that, and then you can move this over like that, and the whole page will come with it. You can take a page at a time or what have you. Don't want to do that. Let's put that page back there. You see the yellow bar pop up between them? When that pops up, the photograph is in place. Well, let's get it over here. Okay, there we go. Photographs in place.
So you can actually design, let's just say, in my case, I have my photo book on a flash drive. Yep. And when I put the flash drive in and it pops up, I can do that same kind of arrangement with what you just showed.
From the photo drive, you have to move your images from the photo drive into your collections bucket. Have to do that. These are all in the collections bucket. You have to create a collection. Yeah, I'll take that back. You can do it that way, but it becomes a little bit cumbersome by doing it that way. If you put a flash drive, you got to make sure that flash drive is attached, and you're going back and forth between the flash drive. Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, you can do that, but it becomes a little bit cumbersome. Once you get them into Lightroom, they're in a library, and in that library, you can move from the library to your collections bucket. There may be some issue working with it on a flash drive as opposed to putting it in a collections bucket, because whatever you do to that image while you got it in that collection, if it's already in the library, say if I were to go back to update this image here, let's just take this one here for an example. If I were to go back and change something about this image here from the library, just say it was in the library and I changed it. it would also change it in your collections bucket. So it's like real-time correction all the way through. This is in my library. Where is it in the library? Let's see if I can find it here. Yeah, here it is in the library. I'm in library module now. And I go in here and just say, I want to edit this in Photoshop. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself and a little bit more than I wanted to get into at this point, but let's just do it anyway. So if I were to go into what would I want to change here? Okay, let's just say I want to take the copyright information out. Edit in Photoshop. Okay, so I'm gonna go to Photoshop. I've been getting this message that pops up. I don't know if anybody else has been getting it, but I haven't.
I've been getting it too.
I don't know what it means, but I'm like,
I just go by it. I just click on it and take it as it is.
yeah, you can do that. But it's trying to tell us something. I've been trying to, I did quickly look at a Camera Raw. My versions are full of the same compatibility, but so I don't know what's telling me. I got to research that. But say I want to do something to that photograph.
Yeah, when you find out, let me know.
I will definitely do that. Okay, I'll get rid of that. Say I want to get rid of the copyright information. Let's go here, grab that, clean that up. Say edit film. This is, I mean, so I'm just doing something for the sake of doing something. Click OK. That goes away. Okay, so it's done. So then I just do file save. And I'll put it back into, and I can close Photoshop at this point in time. So here's the one. Let's go here. Look at it. Here's the one without the copyright. Here's the one with the copyright, without and with. Okay, then I'm going to go back into my book module. And here's the one with the copyright information in it. It's still in the book. So now it's updated on a real-time basis. I can fix this at that point in time, and I don't have the copyright information in there. Let's move this up a little bit. There we go. And I'll do a little bit with the padding here. This is a part I don't like, the adjusting the padding manually, because now I've got to center that photograph there. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So but now I've taken it out, and so it put it now. All I work this from library module, Photoshop, then back to library module. It automatically updates it in the collection bucket because I'm still in the collection bucket. It put the updated version in the bucket. It realized that I wanted that it came from a collection, so it put it back in the collection. So you don't have to worry about putting it back in there. It's been updated so far.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
All right.
So continue going through your book, tweaking it. Another issue there, I'd have to fix that. Open it in Photoshop, it'll fix it. And then once you go through the whole process of doing your page layout and design, white space, nice clean borders and what have you, maybe I'd flip this, put it on this page, maybe not, I'm not sure yet. So, but again, you'll tweak this over a period of time. And there we go. Now this looks like it's been used twice. This particular, no, it's only once. This one's been used twice. The one on the left-hand side has been used twice, but this one's only been used once. I thought I saw that page before. So that's, and it kind of highlights and lets you know, but will let you know what you use more than once. And that's all that I used in the book at that point. All right, so now it's finished. Then you would just click OK and send the blurb is what you would basically do.
Okay.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Okay. Any questions at this point? I'm going to go up to
Bob. You said finish. You didn't do a back page.
Yeah, this back page here.
Yeah.
Let's go back to 2-page view. This page here is going to be blank. You have a blank page and then a back of the book. This is the actual back of the book. So there's nothing here. There will never be anything there. Now the logo is always there. If you leave the logo page on, this is under book settings. Let's turn it off and watch the price of the book because the book goes up. It's $106 now. If I turn that logo off, it goes up to $124 and the logo is gone.
Well, it goes up because you took it off?
Yeah, they give you a little discount for leaving their logo in the book. I don't have a problem with that. That's about let's say price discounted. It goes up to 106, 124. It's about 20% discount they give you just for leaving their logo on. Maybe about 17 or 18%.
Was that a 50-page book that we just saw?
No, this is a 40-page book. If you look at the number here, it's 40 pages in the book. 40 pages, and there's a lot of stuff that I used up here for this large landscape. That's an expensive book. Hardcover image wrap, about the same. Proline, this is the premium paper that I'm using. If I go to premium luster, the book now is 106 bucks. Let's go to premium luster, drops it down to $83. If I go to, that's a paper, logo page on, so it went for, that was $20 savings right there, just based on the paper type that you chose. So that's premium luster, premium matte. Let's see what that gives us. That's still 83. That's $83. So, but there's and then the size of it as well. This is a large landscape. If I go to a standard landscape, which if I do that, it's going to change the book altogether. This is a 10 by 8 versus a 13 by 11. So the spread there's about 3 inches. Let's do that and see what happens. And it says you're going to change your whole layout. I don't want to do that. I don't want to cancel that, but it will be a lower price there in terms of the cost of the book.
Okay.
This front page, the back page, it's going to always be white and a gray to it. And the front page will always be a gray. This is a front cover, inside cover. There'll be a blank page here that you can add something to, but you can't add anything to this. Let's see if you can. Let's see here. Yeah, you could put a photo on that page if you wanted to. Let's see. Let's see if I want to put something there. Well, no, it just gives me another page. This blurb does not share its the guide zone. Yes, it does. Let's go to 2-page design here. Let's see. No, it doesn't. Blurb does not share its logo with anything you want to put on a page. So it gives you an additional page, and I don't want that additional page. So I'm going to remove it. Remove page, right click. And but blurb will not, this page will always be blank and white against the back cover, but they will allow you to do it on the front cover where you've got the same scenario. You've got the gray page on one side, which is the back of the book. But they
you know, like, let me just show you something for a minute. Just give me a minute, but I'll show you something. This is the back.
No, I can't see you at this point. I don't know if anybody else can. I am doing screen share, am I? I don't think they can see as well. But they don't, this would be the front cover, and then you have the gray on the back cover, but they will allow an image on the front page. And that's what I like to use as the inside cover. So this is the front cover. And then I go to the open the book up, the inside, and then the front, the inside cover page is what it nets out to. Okay.
Okay, Bob.
Yes, sir.
Now you put your photograph on that front cover.
Yeah. On the front cover, and keep in mind, this is front cover, which is a hard cover, and this is inside front cover.
The inside one from the front cover.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Typically, you open up a book.
But that white page, you got your photo on there?
Yeah, I was able to put a photo on it.
Okay.
So that's the inside cover there. And that's okay to do that. Matter of fact, that's preferred. So this is just your, I like to think of this as a protected page. My book actually starts here when I open it up. And then the next page is my forward. Now, if you want to put captions on these, you could, but if you do a forward, it tells you what's going on to start with. Now you can add different captions if you want. It's just totally up to you. And there's some interesting ways to do that as well. But that's something we can get into a little bit later on. What time is it? 9:51. All right. So where are we at this point? I'm gonna stop the share and take us a quick break. And I'll pause it.
Bob, show the front cover. Did it also allow you to design your back cover?
The back cover, yes, you can. If you want to put an image on the back cover, you can do that as well. And they also allow you to do what's called a front and back cover. You can take one image and spread it across the front and the back, but you got to have a photograph that's conducive to that.
Okay.
Yeah, so if I had say one of those full page spreads, if I wanted to wrap it around the front and back, that could work as well.
Okay, and you would, if you wanted to wrap it, you would do it with the front cover design, just use it as a wrap photo instead of doing just the one photo on the front?
Yeah, you could do that as well. So when we come back after break, I'll show you how that works. That's a very, very interesting question, because normally I'll do a front cover, then I'll do something on the back. But I did see a video where they actually wrap the spread around the book, the cover around the front and the back. And you have to have a photograph that's conducive to that. And I'll show you how that works. We'll do that when we come back from break.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Take about 10 minutes and see you back on the back side. Break it. Okay. All right. We left with a question from Casolo about, I think the question's a full image wrap. So I'm gonna go back and do that. Casolo, are you back, or is everybody back?
I am.
Okay.
I am. Thanks, Bob.
So, all right. So we go back to her question and we'll pick up from there. So share screen and go here. Annotate, spotlight. Okay. Is everybody seeing screen okay at this point?
Yes, sir.
So I just pulled up another
Yeah.
book I was playing with. So when you, if you want to do a full page wrap, and you can do that, you'd have to select a full page wrap for cover. You select the 2 pages, and you see when you click on that page, the whole thing automatically highlights, as opposed to when you're doing a single page, you got 1 page that'll highlight. So this is going to be a full page. So you click the drop down here, and you select cover, and you can have anything you want on the cover. You can do full page image. You can do a full half page with text on either side. This is probably good for a bus jacket here. Or you can do either one, but select what you want. And then you're going to find a photograph that's appropriate. So let's use this one here. I got one on the bottom. It may work up here. I'm going to just drag it up here and drop it on it. And in this case, it didn't do it like I wanted to do. So let's remove that. And let's try that again. Didn't do it there. There we go. So we're going to pull it across the page. You see, we dropped it on one side. We're going to pull it across the page here. Okay.
Yeah,
And
gotcha.
let's do a single page view. Let's double page view. There we go. Okay. So then what if we'll do a single page? What happens if you do that? Oh, it just does a single. Yeah, same thing. All right. So then you can adjust that where you can, it's at 25%. And that's what the image is. That's the actual format of the image here, but you're going to zoom that out to full page. If you'll notice when I did that, this gray area, you want to make sure your photograph is inside that gray area, because if that's where the machine cuts the book off at, cuts the page. So that's where it trims the page. So let's do it. Let's do this. And move it over and try to set it up as best you can. Now you're going to get a warning over in the upper left hand, right hand corner. There's a little asterisk that pops up. Let's see if I can make that pop. There it is. Okay. So when I click on that little exclamation point, it says this photo may not print well at this size. It will print at
Okay.
164 ppi. So you got to make sure that it's there. But no worries there. Let's Photoshop. Lightroom has something now called image enhance. Let's go back into library, see if this will work, and go back and find that image. Where was it? Let's go back in the book. So there's the image. That's in the photographers. This is in the collection. Okay, so let's see if we can find it in library module, or develop library module, or develop module, would it be? You're going to find that photograph, but you can go back into
Book.
I don't want to be in the book module. I want to be in, I want to go back where I can enhance it. So I've got to find out where it was. This is in, let's go back in the book module. There's the photograph. So it's in here along with some other stuff. So, but what you could do is you could go back into the module. Why is it not photography still mounted? It's showing only 9 images there. I'd have to go back and re-navigate this because it's not in the module. It's not in the catalog that I've got it set up for here. This is the I can't find the image. It's not in my module. But if I were to go into back into, if you got it in your collection correctly, this is not, because I'm only showing 9 photographs here according to this collection, but it's got a lot more than that in it. If you're in the right collection, you can go back into Lightroom and enhance that image, because that's telling you that you need to do something with that image. Is too small. So let's see what happens if I reduce it. How far down does it need to go? See that it went away at that point in time. It comes there. So I still have to go into that, and that's the right resolution for it. Well, it still says it. So let's see if we can drop that down. Yeah, that seems to be about 9% is all I can magnify that to be. But it wouldn't fit that. It wouldn't work for you from a cover back to back, because the image resolution is too low for that, for a spread like that.
Okay.
Yeah, but
So when you say enhance, Bob, is that on a drop down menu somewhere, or?
yeah, let me show you where it is located. Let's go ahead and develop module. What I wanted to see was it show up there, but it didn't show up there like I was looking for it. So masking samples, old pro radial elevation. I'm just trying to find, I don't need to enhance these, but if let's see, let's just take this one here. Once you get back to develop module, you go to photo, and under photo, it says enhance.
Okay.
Right there, and just click enhance, and whatever image you got selected, it will enhance that particular image. In this case, I've got one here selected. I've got this, let's just select that one. But this doesn't need to be enhanced, but if you did go here and do photo and click enhance, the software will take over, and it goes what's called super resolution or something. And,
okay.
it'll give you, says raw details, super resolution, doubles image size. Okay, let's just go ahead and click enhance. I'm trying to see some numbers, but I don't see any numbers. But if I click enhance, it goes through and it does its thing. You'll see it says creating enhanced DNG.
Right.
Okay, and I think it creates a separate image. Okay, it does create a separate image for you. So this is the enhanced version here. You'll see it. You'll see it on the on the screen. It'll say edited enhanced DNG versus just a regular what have you. So that has some super resolution in it for whatever reason.
Make it super.
Yeah, but it does have higher resolution for you. Let's go back to the book module there. Okay, but I couldn't find it. I couldn't find the image where I needed it to be found. This place is there, what have you. Okay, all right.
Cool. Thank you.
Okay, all right. Questions at this point? Okay, all right. Once you upload your book to Blurb, let's go into that real quick. And then it'll just open up for a free-for-all. Let's go to Blurb. I'm going to click on my link here. And I'll go to Blurb. No, I don't want to be there. I want to go Blurb books. Once you upload it to Blurb, here's a book that I did work on. Let's go back here and take it to the book first. March Family Reunion. This is some work that I mentioned before. Eddie and I did a couple of weeks ago. There's the image. There's a cover 2-pager. If I do a 2-pager there, selecting the cover, that's what I want to select. Okay, yeah, then I can go to a 2-pager there. If I want to run that across the front and back, it wouldn't make sense. But if I did have a photograph that was conducive, that's what I would do it at. So, but I've already gone through and worked on this book, laid out my type and what have you. This stuff here, you can move around a little bit. This is what kind of gets a little jiggy for me, if you would. You can move this up or down via the padding. I think it's padding on the cell. I don't want to mess with that, but you'd have to play with that. Let's see if I can click on that. And this is where I can do a little bit of squiggly work here.
If you can get jitty, that means when I get jitty, then, I shouldn't feel bad.
No, you should. Okay. But I've already gone through this book here and set it up. Front, back, cover, page, wherever's in the gray here, this is where the book is going to be cut off. Their foot will be cut off here, and that's okay. I don't have a problem with that. But this gray area is a cutoff place. Now, once I finish it, I do an upload to Blurb. And once I get to Blurb, I've got it on my dashboard. Let's go to the dashboard and show you. Now I've got to log in. So, but you got to create that Blurb account before you can do this. And get your Blurb account. And it'll automatically log you off after a while. And go to your dashboard, which is this is my dashboard. It shows me everything I've got. And I did upload this, and I think it was last night. And this is what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to click. I'm going to see if I can actually upload send a link out where you can take a look at this book individually. This is a full page bleed. This is something I've just tried. Normally I have white space around it, but this is a full page bleed on the cover. And we're going to go into preview mode, and we see the book is $62, which is not bad.
How many pages, Bob?
I think it's I forget how many pages, 40 pages or so. I'd have to go back and look at that and see.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, but I will. But you can control your costs as you go up. All right, so here's the front of the book itself. Let's pull this down. Morris Powell family, and this is a photograph that was modified. For you sharp eyes out there, you see the guy's missing half of his neck there. When I dropped the cloud replacement into the back, sky replacement in the background, I missed that. So
got into it.
Yeah, I have to go back and fix that image for I complete it. But you can use the your cursor keys to scroll through. And this is the inside cover. Again, that's that first page. This page would normally, and when you're doing your template, this page is gray. You can't put anything over here, but it will allow you to put something on the inside cover there. You can click through it just by clicking on the top of the page, or you can scroll through it by using your left and right arrow keys as well. You can scroll through it. These are different layouts. This one needs some work on it. Now, this is where you want to make sure you got your page numbers on them. You may decide not to have page numbers on them, but for your review of it, you want to have page numbers on it. Because as you're going through, you can reference the page numbers for where you may have issues in the book as you're going through. I fixed a couple of these last night as I was working. But it's all there, that the book is laid out. It goes through the pages just like you would normally see the book. Now, this is now what I've got to decide at this point. Now, the cover page, this is the arrival. Probably type in here the arrival, something up here to indicate to the reader or the viewer where they are, what they're looking at, what section they're looking at. But this is the first night as people come into it was a meet and greet, I think is what it's called. Meet and greet, and you go through that whole process there. Now, as you transition to another section, and this would be the same thing with your portfolios as well, as you transition to another section, then you would do the same thing. Now, here's an issue with the page layout. These images are not laid out correctly, so I'll write down page number 17. Need to fix something there. So P17, check layout. And these stay up here for about I think 15 days. Blurb gives you a look at them. If you look up here, this is not aligned properly. This is not the same size as that one. Don't know why. I have to go back into those software to see. But this is an issue here. So you want to fix that. That doesn't look very professional at all. Then this is the next section of it, the sibling portraits. Make sure and the date is on it as well. So I'd go back and add some captions or some text here to indicate where the viewer is. I don't like the way this is laid out. Maybe I'll tighten this up a little bit, but this is where it was located. This is what's happening. This is to whom it's happening to. This is where it's happening. And this is the date that it occurred. And these are the portraits of the siblings. And then you go to the next section. So this probably would be beefed up a little bit. This is a bowling night at wherever. I'll have to actually add some text to that. If you want to add an opening caption here, you might want to add it. You might want to add some opening caption, but the section divider tells you where it is, to tell you what's going on. So you want to keep your viewer informed as you go through. than actual bowling alley. Now, some of these larger images, these had decent resolution. This is probably around 6400 ISO here. That's probably 64, but they print up okay in terms of the pixels. This one was a very low res file because I have to crop it a lot. I can show you the crop as we go through the other, when we go back. But again, that was the the pages kind of relate. Now this page here, I didn't realize, but this guy seems to be looking over into this page. So these pages are tied together like so. Whenever you have a 2-page spread, make sure they work together with each other. The guy looks like he's looking over at the other guy in the other frame. Pages here, she's interacting with the scoring machine. So from a page layout and design, these photographs don't look like they are the same size. So maybe I'll write down page 32, check sizing or page layout there as well. So I got an issue with that page there. That's where your page number come in handy. Everything else looks good here. This looks like it may be off just a little bit. So I probably would check page 36 and go back and fix that before I upload it again. Then you just kind of flip through your book, make sure everything's okay. Looks like some issues there. Look like issues there, but you just scan your pages to see if they're centered correctly, and see if they're laid out correctly, that your margins are consistent, and that you're professional looking, and that you're telling a story. All right, so then this is a third day. The games were at Redan Elementary School. So this one is about right. The other two we had up in the front, probably want to add something to them. I was actually considering using this for the cover, but and that could be a wrap there. But if you wrapped it, you're going to wind up with somebody in the middle of the book, the spine, so to speak. So this is some opening shots and inside the book. Everything kind of works together, fun games, fun, what have you. Pages interacting, same way you compose an image. Pages interacting, rule of space, left to right, and what have you. The pages interact the very same way. Now, this was actually cropped very severely, but it was enough resolution. And this is one of the images that Ted had captured. It was enough resolution where I could crop it it was cropped severely, about less than half of the file, the image file was used, but no issues with it at all. And that's out of that mirrorless camera that's used. This is cropped a little bit as well on the left-hand side. But again, all the pages were layout. Here's a situation where you've got a lot of things, photographs that you want to put in the book, but you don't want to do a single page. So the opening page shows what the activity is, and then the subsequent pages, you go from there. It was all the same activity. You're carrying a bucket of water from whatever. May want to put a caption here. Uncle Luke starts the games off by doing such and such, what have you. I don't know if his name was Luke or not, but find out. These were some candid shots that were captured that show some of the excitement from the reunion. And then this was a bunch of kids coming up. I say a bunch of kids, but they all got something for attending. I forget what it was they got. It looks like they were giving out cell phones. I don't, maybe not. But each kid came up and they got a pose with the presenter, and tried to double up some of these on pages. Could have put a lot more on single pages to reduce the cost of the book. And we did over on this side here, where we didn't want to do all those individuals, so we did multiple photos on page there. That reduces your book size. And then this is your last page, and then this is the last page in the book. And there's a total of 69, 70 pages. So to answer your question, Felix, so there's a last page.
I see it now.
Okay, so that's kind of what you're dealing with. So I'm gonna stop screen share and come back and see if we can handle some Q&A at this point.
Good job, Mr. GlickSmith.
Okay, thank you very much. So it's been fun learning this piece of software. Like I said, I don't normally use it, but it has some quirks, and you have to go in there and play with it to see to get it where you want to get it. So, but it does have some utilization. You can use it for what you want to do. So, all right, with that said, let's just go to a straight up Q&A at this point. We got about 20 minutes or so. And I hope that's been useful. I don't, how many people out there thinking about doing a book other than Felix? He's got his hand up.
I am.
Okay, all right, Barrington.
Yeah, I am.
I am.
Okay, some of you heavy hitters out there.
I am. Oh, no, I'm not a heavy hitter, but
So
I'm gonna try.
they've been awful quiet. I'm like, all right, where are my big bats? So,
thinking about doing one, but I have a young cousin that's working on a family ancestral type thing. He's really smart. And he's also taking old photographs and cleaning them up.
yep.
I've been kind of helping him a little bit. I'm learning from him as well. When you do these books and you're using other people's photos,
Yep.
do you like do a tribute page at the back?
You can, I like to just use an acknowledgement page. I'll go back and show that to you. Since I see your hand up, I'll be right there. So let me just kind of show her where we get that information from. Let's go back to my dashboard. This thing screen here. And we did a book. Here's one that we did for the best of. Let's open this up, let it load here. And on the inside, I get a same screen. Okay, it takes a minute for this. Okay, let's go to the what I did, and that was an error there. Let's see, where is it?
Okay.
Okay, the acknowledgements. Let's go back here. Let's go here. Okay. Team members acknowledgements page. I thought there was one here where I talked about the inside. Yeah, here it is. This is called a colophon. And what this describes is the book itself, how you deal with it, who presented it, when was it first presented. Down here, it says the best of collections. Cover photo by Sharon Dowdell tells where it was taken, when it was taken. Back cover photo, courtesy of Annie Jackson, tells where it was taken. If you got a lot of images by an individual, you may say images of, I don't know how you would categorize those in a group, but if one person is applying a lot of your images, you just do an acknowledgement here. You can do it here, or can you do it in the acknowledgements page. The colophon kind of describes, this is only one image, and this is one image from Annie as well. So this is Sharon's image here. We use it on the cover. You acknowledge that person there. On the back cover, image that was of me that was taken by Annie Jackson was acknowledged there. If you go into the acknowledgements page, you can also put here, if you decide to put an acknowledgements page here. But this is our recognition to the people who helped with the book, team members, Carol, Cynthia, Donna, etc., Marshall, Ramona, Sharon, and so across there. You would make that induction there. So it just depends on your book. You got two places you can do it. You do what's called a colophon, which is the first page we brought up, talks about the book itself, or you can do it in an acknowledgement page. You can do it there as well. Now, this book happens to have a table of contents. These are the sections that I talked about. And we also had an index if you want to do something in the index. Let me see if I can get back here real quick to the index. And I don't think I can skip directly to the index. I have to actually page through to get to it. So that's what I'm doing now real quick. If you want to do an index, now this is a good template to use, but if you want to do an index per page, you could also do this as well, an index of it. So Bob GlickSmith, photographs this page, etc. Callie Jones, whoever owns that photograph on different pages. And in this particular book, it was not about the photographers, about the work, but you give the photographers their credit through the index. And McCoy photographs on such and such pages, etc. So that's kind of how you would do it as well. If you want to recognize individuals for doing particular images. There's that Michael Stewart picture. I love that. I'm going to go back and enhance that so you can get that a little bit larger. So, all right, questions at this point? Other questions? I'll stop share. Come back here. Okay, what else we got? All right. Okay, so next, this afternoon we'll look at homework. Next week, if anybody has got some, has started book, and what I want to do is I'll send a link out. I'm going to try and send a link out with the book committee and see if they can actually go through my book. So those who are on the book committee, I think Ramona, Cynthia, a couple others, I'm going to click on a link out of Word and send that link to you. And what I'd ask that you do is let me know if you could actually page through it without me having to bring it up on a screen itself. That's what I'll try and do and see if that works. And if that's the case, then as you complete your books or as you upload your books for review, we'll have a way that we can actually look at them individually. Say, for example, I'll send a link. And I'll click on that link. If I can show it on the screen, then I'll be able to show it on the screen. And anybody else who's got a link, who started a book, we do it that way as well. So I'll send a link out to the book lady, and then we'll discuss how we're going to review books that are ready for review. So hopefully some of you are close to or getting ready to do a book at this point. Anybody close? Sounds like Felix has been doing some work.
Yeah, I've been doing some work. I just got stuck because my computer, my hard drive is, my cache disk is full again. So I got to go in and take
Clean
some.
that out. Yeah, on a regular basis, you should be doing that once, twice a week, once, twice a month, or something like that.
Well, I'm almost there. I mean, I already have the selections and I just need to start the work.
Okay, all right, yeah. Well, jump into the book module and see how it works for you and see what happens. And again, if you're not to the point where you've got it uploaded to Blurb, what I'll ask from Cynthia Donnell is if I can post so I can actually share screen and let you pull your images up on the screen and show us what you got from there. I think Barrington and I had a tutoring session the other day. I was able to share a screen. That was very helpful to be able to do that.
Yes, it was.
So I could actually see what he's actually doing there, what have you.
Yeah, it was.
Okay. All right. So where are we at? Actually, behind that, that's where we at. All right. I'm sorry. It's supposed to be a joke, people. This is a serious crowd. Is this topic too heady for
We
us?
cannot put you on Comedy Central. You can't make it.
Yeah. Yeah, for real. All right, Leon. Let me call on some people in. Let's get so we can get some music. Leon, how you doing? Are you there? Okay.
I'm doing fine.
Yeah. How's this setting with you? You've been quiet for the last 2 weeks, man. I'm just scared.
Yeah, I'm kind of scared there.
I mean, I'm trying to get decent photos for you, and next thing I know, here we're working on a book.
Okay, yeah. All right, I feel you. I understand where you're at then. So you got some decent photos. You could maybe, if you want to do a small book. I was talking to Talia. She's got, I think she said about 15, 16 images. That's not enough to make a book, but at least you can learn how to. But you can lay out a 15-page book if you want to. You could call it a magazine, I guess. Sharon C's got her hand up. So okay, but when you guys get quiet like this, I'm like, it scares me. Like, what's going on? It's a pretty boisterous guy. Sharon Castler, what do you got?
Bob, this is not directly related to the book, but in a way it is. I'm trying to figure out how to do some things to improve some of my old photos.
Yeah, sure.
You did something, that image that you had last week of the child at the parade where you converted her, changed the color of her glasses and put some grass behind her. Could you walk through that since we have a little time?
Yeah, we can do that.
Just to show how you did it.
Okay. Yeah, I think I still got the files available. Okay, Felix.
Yeah, go do what you're doing. I want to see that too. So I'll talk to you after.
Let me find it. See if I can find it on the screen here. That was in Lightroom. I've got to find it at this point. Give me a couple seconds to locate it. But I know it was in Lightroom. I did that. Let's go into my library here. Where is it?
Put it in the book module.
Yeah, but I know it's in the book module, but I had to go to the original shot. I've got to go back to the original collection to do that for you.
Collection number 36.
I got too many of those. There it is. Right? Okay. All right. Let's see if I can find
Yeah,
it.
we gonna hurt you.
Yeah.
You should have been a stand-up comedian.
Yeah. Okay, I found the image. Let's see if I can do a screen. Now I got to find the grass that I used for that image. So I've got the image that's there. And where is
Yeah,
it?
we want to see it too.
Yeah, I do. I'm just trying to get all the stuff located. I don't want to be fumbling around the screen.
Oh, you don't want us to see where you get the grass from.
Ivy Island, breast health. Oh, it's here. It is. Okay, it's in the shag group. The image is there. Finals. Excel. Club themes. Red, white, and blue. Tag. Okay, here they are. Okay, so I think I've got everything here. Here's the grass here. Okay, good, got it. All right, so that's in the red, white, blue shag folder. Let's see if I can pull this up. So there's a share. So if you're looking at going back and improving some of your images, spotlight, arrow. So we're seeing screen okay?
Yes,
Yeah, block.
I'm good.
Okay, there's the original image without it, red, white, blue. Where is that?
Nope, that ain't it. That's it.
So let's just open that with Photoshop. Okay, there's the image up there with the backgrounds where it should be. Then I go back and find the grass. Grass. That's grass. Let's use this one here. Lighter. And I'm going to open that one with Photoshop as well. Okay, so the grass had not been processed. So this is the grass that I use for the background. So everybody seeing this okay? I hope this works.
Yeah, but Bob, you actually take grass and put it in a folder?
You know, for this particular shot, I wanted to put some grass there. So I just went out in the front yard and took a picture of the grass. But it's not that I'll be going out taking pictures of grass. I understand what you're saying.
Well, I bet I've done that.
Yeah, it's nothing wrong with it.
Just checking.
I mean, I have a folder of grass and a folder of clouds and stuff like that.
Yeah, okay, you could do that. Yeah. All right, so there's a raw file. Let's just say quickly convert it, do auto on it. Auto says that's what it should look like. And I may have done a few more things to it. Let's push up the vibrance a little bit. Let's pull up the exposure a little bit. Let's do that. And then just go ahead and open it up in Photoshop. Okay. So, but yeah, I for this particular image, I wanted to do that. And what I did was just before I did it, I cleaned it up a little bit. So let's get that little speck there or something in the yard there. All right, then I want to open that. And let's bring this down to size a little bit. Go back over here and select this. Is that how I did it? And I think I went over here and selected this. Select all. Select all. Did I do it that way? Yeah, I think I did that. Okay, select all. Edit. Copy. Sometimes I'm working through these things. I don't.
You don't remember what you did.
I go to different. I just do it different ways. Okay.
Slow down, Mr. Bob.
These have a profile mismatch. Castle, I think you're following me, okay, aren't you?
Slow down, Mr. Bob.
Okay.
I'm with the Leah. You can slow down a little bit.
All right. Let me just make sure this is working. Okay, so there's what I've got there. Okay. And at this point, before I do all the cropping and stuff, I'm gonna kind of move that around a little bit. And I want to select this portion of it out. And I want to create it. What did I do? I'm trying to remember. Let's see.
Gotta get some marching ants around it.
You
Yeah.
need
Would it
to.
be in your history, Bob?
No,
that's
Bob, I can help you if you need help.
I will. Okay, but let me see if I can walk through how I did it. Okay, I think I selected her out first. Okay, let's see if this will work. Yeah, okay, so we got most of her selected out there. There's that, there's that. And then at that point, I think I created a layer, a mask. Is that right? Mask it. Yeah, okay. And I can't remember what I did. Okay, but because what I was able to, no, I'm sorry, I did it just the opposite. Let's go back. And let's go over here. And let's delete that. And let's go over here and select this. Where's my copy? I can't select all. Okay. And like I said, I'll go, sometimes I'll do something one way and I'll do something